We're going to kick it off just right. She's probably unlike any other jazz artist you've ever met. Annie Sellick has a style all her own, and plus infectious enthusiasm, that goes without saying, and leaves her fans always wanting for more. The sassy jazz singer is set to release her sophomore project next week, and she joins us today with a sneak preview. Here to perform Accentuate the Positive is Annie Sellick. Annie?
Accentuate the positive, eliminate the negative, latch on to the affirmative. Now don't mess with Mr. In Between. You gotta spread joy to the maximum. You bring gloom down to a minimum. Have faith, or you got pandemonium. You're liable to walk up on the scene. To illustrate my last remark, you got Jonah in the whale, you got Noah in the ark. Well, what did they do just when everything looked so dark? Hey, man, they said we better accentuate the positive, eliminate the negative, latch on to the affirmative. Now don't mess with Mr. In Between. Oh, well, you leave him alone if you know what I mean.
You gotta love it, Annie. I like that last move, that shimmy move at the end. That's very good. Come on over here, Annie. Let's visit for a while.
You get excited and you start going with it.
Oh, I know. It moves you, doesn't it? You know, there's the CD, the cover, No Greater Thrill, the sophomore project from Annie Sellick.
That's the truth, No Greater Thrill.
And I love that Hammond organ in there. Tell me about who you brought in for that.
That is Joey DeFrancesco playing. And I got him to come to Nashville to do the record with me. I love this man. I mean, he's an incredible player, and live, he just blew me away. I saw him out in California. And we met and talked, and he actually had heard of me and knew who I was. And I gave him my first project, and he said he liked it, and he'd come to Nashville to record. But he's huge. I mean, he is like Jimmy Smith. He's played with Miles Davis when he was like 17 years old, and Pat Martino and all these jazz greats. So, and now with Annie Sellick, lucky him, right?
Lucky him.
There is no greater love than what I feel for you. No greater love, no heart so true. There is no greater thrill than what you bring to me. No sweeter song than what you sing to me. And never miss a thing.
Ha llegado a la ciudad del Cusco una cantante desde los Estados Unidos. Ella es Annie Sellick. Annie Sellick. Annie, ¿qué hace en Cusco? Ella habla español.
Un poco, sí.
Un poco.
He estudiado 6 años, pero no tengo la oportunidad para practicar en Nashville mucho. Entonces, es mi primera vez aquí, en Cusco.
¿Y qué te gusta Cusco? ¿Primera vez que vienes?
Qué magnífico. Las montañas verdes, la gente aquí. There was a boy, a very strange, enchanted boy.
You know what's interesting about you? You're so young, but you have such an old soul.
Well, thank you.
And I say that as a compliment because that's the feeling you get from your music. It's hard to hear someone so young put all the feeling that you have in these great songs.
Thank you. Appreciate it. They say he wandered very far over land and sea.
Did this start early for you?
I was always comfortable performing. I was comfy on stage and being silly and all that stuff.
Imagine that.
Yeah, can you tell? Hang on, I'm having trouble with my hair. I'm not looking in the mirror. You know, it's all about hair up here.
For Pete's sake.
There is no... Okay, I'm ready. What, does it look funny?
Is it real?
Yeah. Oh, baby, they're real.
Ah, en portugués.
Okay. Es en mi CD también.
Sí, sí, sí.
A insensatez que você fez, coração, mas sem cuidado. And actually the jazz singing and singing in general started about 8 years ago when I was in college. It just kind of happened on a lark. I sat in with a band, I had the gig, and then all of a sudden I was working 4 or 5 nights a week and learning more jazz tunes with them, and I was like, man, I want to do this. This is what I want to do. And they're like the title of the album, No Greater Thrill. There's a song on the record called There's No Greater Love, and it says there's no greater thrill. And that's how I feel about doing this stuff. I mean, there's just no better feeling than standing up in front of people and singing, and they get happy and they're into it.
Resign yourself, you're true. You're really true.
Hi, thanks for joining me again. Tonight I'm at Virago in Nashville, Tennessee. The band with me tonight is the Gypsy Hombres, Justin Thompson on guitar, Dave Spiker on bass, and Peter Herka on violin. It's sort of a Django Reinhardt, Stefan Grappelli sounding thing. We have a really good time. I think you're gonna like it.
Watch it. Oh my god. Oh my god.
And no greater thrill than working with Joey DeFrancesco, too, I might add.
It sounds wonderful.
Oh,
It
my
really
gosh.
does.
Thank you.
And pull these songs together. These are such great old standards. Who influenced you musically in terms of singers?
Well, you know, actually, when I started singing jazz, I asked my friends, who's jazz singers? Whose records do I go by? And I remember writing down Sarah Vaughan. I thought Billie Holiday was a man. But these were some of the first to influence me, and then I really latched on to Anita O'Day as a singer, and she would be my biggest influence.
Who's that again? I'm sorry.
Anita O'Day.
Anita O'Day. I know Anita O'Day.
You do?
Yes,
a lot
I
of
know
people
that.
don't.
Yes,
She's
I do that.
my favorite.
But there's a lot of Ella Fitzgerald in there, too, though.
Sure.
I can hear that.
Well, you know, she's the standard.
No,
for jazz singing,
she's the
really.
one, and everybody else kind of tries to emulate that.
Yeah, or they can't help but emulate her a little bit because she's just in you.
Well, now, you're from Nashville.
I am from Nashville.
And grew up there?
I grew up there. I had the music scene in Nashville always intimidated me. I thought, there's no way I want to do this. And it just sort of happened in college. I just stumbled upon jazz, and I was like, wow. And I always liked to sing. And I was one of those people that, you know, they're like, you're really good. You should pursue this. And I played a little guitar and was like, oh, well, whatever. Going to college studying sociology, gerontology, completely unrelated.
You weren't anywhere close to going into a music
No, not
career.
at all.
So you sit in at a club one night to sing.
Yeah.
And all of a sudden that's it.
I had a gig.
It clicks, you got a gig.
I don't believe in fretting and grieving. Why mess around with strife? Well, I never was cut out to step and strut out. Give me the simple life. Well, some find it pleasant dining on pheasant. Those things roll off my knife. But you can serve me tomatoes and mashed potatoes. Give me the simple life.
Annie's new CD, by the way, There Is No Greater Thrill. I love you to death.
Grew up studying dance, and I really started singing and getting into music when I was about 20 years old. So a lot of my background in music comes from dance, the feeling, the rhythm, and you know, you see me up here grooving. I mean, it's just not separated as far as I'm concerned.